what I discovered is that it was a real process for me, obviously. And it was not, eating disorders are so tough because you have to eat. Everybody knows you have to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a real balancing act. And so it was, a process of slowly learning how to forgive myself, because that anger is like gasoline on the fire,
Right.
Yeah. And then it was I'd always heard, or I'd heard a lot, just eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. I picked that up from different therapists and different books and things like that. And I thought, that makes sense to me. That sounds natural, and I want to be normal. And that's how I was when I was a child, I think. But the question was, how do you do that when you have this gnawing, nagging, sense that you have to put something in your body to relieve the anxiety? And how do you do that? I talk about, really being able to identify it. If you're physically hungry, like 1 on the hunger scale is starving, and 10 is like so stuffed that you can't lay down flat, which is how I got a lot of the time. And so, so part of the process, that started a long time ago was surrendering to stomach hunger, and I had to figure out how can I let myself get hungry without,
that insatiability,
pulling my hair out, and then how do I stop before I'm too full? So that's a process. That's
Absolutely.
Not easy,
Yeah.
And the way what followed that was I binge in a moment. It's a moment's sort of the switch turns, and I'm just out of control. And so what I discovered was, and Eckhart Tolle has been a huge teacher for me. The Power of Now blew my mind. And it was a real spiritual awakening for me, but he talks so much about the present moment, obviously. And so what I sort of applied from that in my own way to myself is how to stop judgment, lose judgment and lose weight. And the way I did that was to have an aha moment, which is identify, in the moment when you're feeling like you really need to eat or change the way you feel, however you feel, whatever's going on in the moment is just not okay, and you have to change it. I learned, okay, I can identify what is it that's going on right now. What is it? What is it that I'm not okay with? And a lot of times, like, big trigger for me was being tired. It sounds so simple and trivial, but I felt at the mercy of being tired, and I had to change it. It was uncomfortable. And then, so to identify what is it that's going on, and then honor. Like, actually have respect for whatever it is, the discomfort that's happening, instead of trying to, push it away. And then, the third part of it is to allow whatever it is you identified that you don't think is okay, and honor it, and then allow, just to say, you know what, I feel discomfort, and I'm just going to allow it to be here as long as it needs to be, because I am not that discomfort,
Yeah, so
I feel so attached to, like,
Right.
how I felt all the time, my thoughts, that I am like so much greater than little thoughts or little feelings, and you can just stay here as long as you want, and I'm just going to keep on going with my day. And
it seems for you, mindfulness, and in the book, was really powerful for you to kind of reconnect, I guess, mind, body, and spirit, and also to be mindful and aware of any triggers you have and what they represent. And it seems like for you, that was really a part of your freeing process.
It really was. The cycle of binge eating is there's such momentum to it. And you asked if it was progressive, if you thought it was. And if I think about it a different way, I guess it's progressive because there is so much momentum, and it just speeds out of control like a runaway train. It really does. So it's hard to slow that down. Like I said, you can't just pull up the emergency brake and, you stop the cycle the next day. So it's really, it's practice. And that's why I call the steps disciplines, because to this day, I'm definitely not at the mercy of food or the mental obsession with food, but it's a spiritual practice every day to, the freedom is progressive too, which is awesome, awesome.